Yeah, my name is Nduku, and what I essentially do is to eat, breathe, and dream evidence synthesis in all forms. Systematic reviews, evidence map. That's essentially what I do. Simply put, the work that I do, I'm extremely passionate about it. It's a gospel that I would love to preach to as many people as possible, and such a conference gives me that opportunity and platform to share my experiences, to share the beauty of evidence synthesis in driving development. And particularly for this conference, I do evidence synthesis across different sectors. And for the large part, I've been drawn into climate-related evidence synthesis. So this was a wonderful opportunity for me to, share evidence synthesis, but also to learn quite a bit about what is happening on the ground in terms of impact evaluations, what is happening around the topic of climate resilience and adaptation. The mere hosting of the conference is quite a big thing for me, um, because it actually shows that, as Africans, we're capable of doing these big conferences and trying to find African solutions for African problems. So that's the big thing for me when it comes to such kind of conferences. Yeah.
African solutions to African problems.
Yes.
Then would you consider yourself evidence, action, or in the middle?
I think evidence action.
Okay.
Yeah, evidence action. Let's use the evidence. Let's generate the evidence. Let's engage with those who are responsible for developing those policies in developing our own evidence synthesis products. From a primary research point of view, let's get those who are affected by climate change to be involved in designing the programs themselves, so that they get a sense of ownership of what is coming to them. I mean, there's different challenges. For me, the key stakeholders become those who are going to put the policies in place and also those who are going to be affected by these policies, right? So the challenges emanate from these two sides. They face challenges when it comes to the acceptance of what they're doing from the policymakers themselves, which is a generally big thing. And you need that buy-in for a certain policy based on the evidence to be adopted. And then there's also issues when you're engaging with those who are affected by the climate solutions. Because what we must understand, I mean, in the African context, is the language that we will bring to those who are affected, the marginalized groups. How are we engaging with them, right? And trying to solve, find these solutions as we interact with them. And they might not be as enthusiastic about what you're bringing to them as you are, because in most cases we think, oh, we know better, we know more than they do, but they know more about their problems than we do. So maybe bridging that gap in terms of communication and relating becomes a challenge that is highlighted by those who are designing these programs. So I guess it really starts from acknowledging the importance of, the role of these players. To speak from a point where I stand as an evidence producer, it's really acknowledging that both these parties have so much to contribute in you generating that evidence. So in our communications, we have to adjust. We have to understand the processes and the environment from both sides, from the policymaking side and also from the marginalized communities. And I think that will enhance, to try and improve and bridge that gap in communication. And also boils down to, when we generate that evidence, how are we presenting it to the communities, for instance, marginalized communities? There's translations that we might want to do to break down the language and remove that communication barrier. So those are some of the actions that we can basically take to bridge that gap.
Now, final question for you.
Okay.
E2A 2025, are we going to see you there?
Definitely, definitely, without a doubt. I'm there. I'm already there.
All right, great. That's what we like to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.